Again, how are you doing? Happy Thursday. It's really nice here. You know, the sun continues and continues. Look at this thing. What is this? Halloween trick-or-treating time. Skeleton. Hi, Gregory. Are you tea roses? I don't know anymore. And this is for Halloween activity in this park. You have to do something and visit all the scary spots. And then I think if you go back to the office, uh, maybe you get some prize. Warm there. Well, that's nice. You know, here it's so dry, almost no rain. I mean, it's been like this since summer started. Scary. But you know, it's so nice to be outside. It's like if it's going to rain now, it's going to become so cold. It will be the end of the best ever season ever. Crunchy leaves. I was looking at my ants, and some ants woke up to eat. Maybe because of this dry, warm weather. And then they went back. Interesting to hear. We have had all rain. I think so. I think so. Oh, but it's it's how cold does it get? It's above 10 degrees Celsius at night, so that's not cold. But here, just winter, the coldest maybe a few degrees Celsius, 2, 1. Usually it's like 8 during day. Oh, Medgrad, welcome. It's a beautiful weather again. Look at this. Look at the roof. It's all tiles. The tiles on this house, and here they're building another house. Some trees are turning colors, but I think right now it's the maple season, so the maples are getting red. Yeah, very beautiful. This is how the summer should be. I couldn't just go enjoy the summer at all because it was just too hot. I was too scared I will get heat stroke. No cycling, no doing anything. And now, oh, you know what? My carnivorous Drosera plant has died because it's been so hot. I think the plant just cooked itself in this season, in this season of summer, and then I collected seeds from the flowers that came, but I couldn't see the seeds. So I powdered everything and I threw into peat moss. And I now realize that there are such a tiny Drosera plants starting to grow in it. And they are so tiny, like less than 1 millimeter. Yeah, I don't know, I always thought these plants are tropical, but the heat of the Japanese summer made it die. This plant seems to enjoy 20 degrees Celsius or like 15. Yeah. But these little droseras are growing, and I don't know what to do. They are in a little carton of milk with peat moss, and I don't know if they will survive, or I need to take them indoors for sure. Yeah. I mean, a plant that has small flowers and no visible seeds. Now, this is just mind blowing. I was using magnifying glass to just search for these seeds. When the flowers dry, you just get the dry bits, and there was nothing, like nothing, zero. But I sprinkled it over peat moss, and it's growing like these tiny things. I observed it was a little bit green there, and I thought, oh, maybe moss is starting to grow eventually, because I kept it wet. These plants love like wet marsh, type of environment. And I took magnifying glass and I saw these tiny microscopic leaves with that honeydew that catches the flies. Smaller than the mustard. Actually, the mustard seed is huge though. The edible mustard. Yeah. Anyway, like probably like dust, to tell the truth, because I couldn't see if there were seeds or not. Let them grow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try it, but I'm so worried because if there are any changes to that plant, I had the big plant, it didn't do well with changes. Oh, hornet. Oh, hornets flying here. What the heck? There's so many hornets here. Flew away. So they are so touchy to changes to light and temperature, and my big plant was really suffering from that. And I think summer was too hot for it. And I'm so scared to, like, what do I do with these little ones? There are just so many of them in this milk carton. I need to keep it wet somehow, and I also need to take it indoors for the winter. And I don't know if they're gonna get shocked from going indoors or not. We'll see, I guess. We'll see what happens. And since there are so many of them in this little carton, and I think maybe they don't like to be so close to each other. I always bought this plant so many, like 3-4 times, and it never survived. Even in Canada, I didn't have any luck with it. Butterflies are still flying here. This plant looks the same. Except I don't focus now. Focus! No. Yeah, gentle spraying. I will have to go buy a spray bottle. Maybe that's the way. I don't know. But now when I was watering them since spring when they were blooming. And I didn't gently spray. I just poured out of the water can water on them. And I was thinking, these seeds are gonna get washed into that peat moss and that's gonna be the end. But it didn't happen. They are growing on surface. I mean, they have to anchor themselves somehow, maybe like in the nature. Who knows how this works. In Canada, I once ordered the seeds from online person. People were enjoying, hobbies, and I got seeds for free. And when I got the seeds, I could grow them on a piece of Kleenex, but a little bit later, they didn't grow anymore. Tricky, so tricky. Wish I had like a whole greenhouse. When I worked in Canada growing genetically engineered plants, there were these computerized greenhouses, indoor greenhouses, and those things were just perfect. You just need to know how much fertilizer to add, and things were growing with the lighting. You have watered the parent plant. No, no, no. This plant. This plant is like a marsh plant, so it needs constant water. You cannot overwater it, but if you don't water it, then that's the end of it, I think. Oh, tiny truck. I would not fit in this thing. It's too small. Oh, look at this. What ghost is hiding here? It's a snowman made of pumpkins. Cool, you grew genetically engineered plants. Yeah, in Canada. It was so much work, my goodness. And in the end, we were following like government documents because someone from the government published, how to transform them with genetic material, and we couldn't do it. Like whatever we tried, we got it growing, but they started dying later on. So I think the document published by the government did not have all the information in it. I think on purpose they have withdrawn some special thing. Crops, edible crops? It was canola. Yeah. Of course. But the thing is, you have to grow these things, then you have to hatch them from seeds. I was growing the canola plant for something else, but then I had to grow them from seeds. So you had to take the seeds and sterilize them. There was a whole thing, how to sterilize the seeds without killing them. And it was a combination of using bleach and I think alcohol. And you couldn't really fire them, right? Because that will kill the seed. And then you would grow them on special medium in petri dishes and giving them the right nutrients and hormones. And something in there was not 100% good because you couldn't get it to grow. Like they got some roots and then they were dying. Fun times. I had so much fun with these plants. The government building was right beside the university college. Yeah, I worked also on the bacteria that remove the oil spills. You would go to an area with the oil spill and collect the bacteria from the soil. And then you have to isolate all these bacteria from your sample. There were like hundreds and hundreds of bacteria in there. I think there was even the one that looked like it would ferment the soya beans, the natto in Japan. Too humid? It could be. Actually, they like humidity, these plants. That was the Drosera plants that I tried to grow and not kill. But I wasn't successful. They are marsh, humid, probably tropical. They just need 20 degrees Celsius all year round. Anyway, Yeah, and then I isolated so many bacteria. It was it was like, eh, and then you had to isolate them and freeze them, and then test them like you test like on a matrix, and feed it into a spectrophotometer, um, and the results will be recorded by a computer. So you could actually test a whole bunch of for probably maybe over 100 samples, or over 100 bacteria at once, and you could see whether they metabolize oil or not. And the ones that did, they got published, and I guess you could throw them in the oil spill and they're gonna eat it up and remove all the toxic stuff, metabolize it into something else than toxic oil. How do you get the kind of job? I finished microbiology in Canada in the university, and I went to this course at the university where they teach you how to find a job. It's probably like for the people who could never ever find a job, because I ended up with just weirdos. And believe it or not, after 2 months of taking that course and doing cold calling, I think I called over 150 companies in a little city, and I almost got out of call numbers, phone numbers. Soybeans like to be left alone. And I finally got some like hint. Oh, this person right there, she's a professor, and their company went bankrupt, but she came to university to teach and do research, and they are looking for someone to do it. And I went there for an interview, and I got the job. So, but I got it only for as long as the grant was for. When you apply for this kind of job, you need to write a grant and then receive the money, and then you divide it into the salaries and how many things you have to buy, research things. Technical support of the airport is possible. So after 2 years, my contract ended and I was out of the job. But there was another researcher that came from South Africa, and he was looking also for someone. I bombed the interview. I just didn't know anything what bacteria he was working with, and he hired me. He just said, "I know you know everything around here, so that's why I hired you." But that job was different. That job was not just genetically engineered microbes. Kind of, but that job was like food. So I started to how do you say it? Do an audit at the food plant, where they make sausages or meat, handling meat and stuff. So I checked all their stuff. Then I got also into testing samples for, like, if you are an airline and you want to sell a sandwich, right? You need a certification from the government that your samples are having this and this many bacteria and no other bacteria and within these limits. So I was doing that. And the restaurants will be sending like soups. Like they want to know how long can these soups be in the freezer or in the fridge, before they go bad. So much money was like coming from that. And then in addition to that, there was research on meat, sausages, bacteria that lived on sausages. There was this, they cooked a salami for us just for the research, and we had so many like leftovers. We could like take it home and eat. Yeah, those were the times. You know, listeria bacteria, it can survive at 4 degrees Celsius on your lettuce or something, and it causes miscarriages in women, pregnant women. But it's very self-limiting except of that. So microbiology degrees can lead to very interesting jobs. I think so. I think so. Yeah, you just have to get the foot in a door. If you don't know anyone, my gosh, you'll be like me, cold calling. Some people were so like offended. I called some factory and I asked, "Can I get to to know more about the things you're doing because I'm searching for a job?" I think whoever picked up was just like some average Joe, or maybe it was one person operation. They didn't even want to talk to me. They thought I'm spying and take away their secrets or something. Yeah, I remember once I was doing the experiments on rhizobium. You know, this is the bacteria that grows at the roots of the of soybeans. And the cool thing is, you can infect the you can make transgenic bacteria, insert some part of a gene into the bacteria. And these bacteria can infect the soya plant roots and create a special nodules where they reside. And you know, the result is that that gene produces some sort of thing that the plant needs, sort of like imagine as if it's a fertilizer. So, and also bacteria infects the plant and transfers that gene to the plant. So both the bacteria and the plant, you know, are producing the good stuff for the plant. And you would drive like 2 hours out into the prairies trying to find the farmer who said, "Yes, please come and take some samples from my from my field." Yeah, something like this, symbiotic relationship, but you know, on the higher level where you actually tweak it to make it supremely good. And I went, and after driving through the fields, this guy had like kilometers and kilometers of these fields. We finally found his house. It was just a normal farmer's house. He just said, "Hey, come on, yeah, you can go and collect whatever you want here and there." And we brought a whole bunch of plants back with the soil. Yeah, it was fun stuff. You know, you can give plants some special genes that, for example, if you grow some legumes close to ocean, right? You're gonna get lots of salt in the air, and the soil is pretty contaminated with that salt, and nothing really wants to grow in it. But if you tweak the genetic code so that that salt doesn't matter anymore, you can grow pretty good crops in that poor soil, which gives you huge advantage, right? Because you can grow where usually stuff doesn't grow. So, and I remember even finding viruses. You know, there are viruses that kill bacteria. I forgot what it was called. Oh my gosh. But I had to go to the barn at the university. There was like, you know, feces of cows everywhere. And I'm in this, you know, pristine white lab coat. I'm trying to find someone like, hey guys, I need to collect some samples here. And as I was saying, the cow just gave away huge pile of liquid feces on the ground. And they just said, yeah, help yourself, just be careful, you can get bombarded or sprayed with cows pooping. And I collected that and I isolated from that sample I think it was called bacteriophage. Bacteriophage is a certain virus found in nature, which, if you, for example, expose it to a bacteria like E. coli, the bacteriophage will infect the E. coli and cause it to die. Like it automatically infects and kills the bacteria. Yeah, and then can you imagine? This is like 21st century medicine, just like our COVID vaccine. You deploy a virus to someone, and you just kill their cancer or remove the infected things. That is like high tech. And the bacteriophage, it looks like Sputnik or a moonlander in reality if you look at it at the under the electron microscope. It's got this capsid at the top which contains the genetic material, and then it's got like a little neck and legs where it anchors itself, attaches itself to the host, and then infects. Oh, look at this beautiful autumn colors here. Oh, it's getting better and better. So there's just so many inventions. And even the COVID vaccine, that is mind-blowing. I was really surprised that they were going to use it for vaccination, because they don't inject you with anything but the code for the vaccine. They don't inject you with the vaccine. They inject you with the code, and your body uses that code and makes the vaccine for you, inside you, from you. So I think if you watched the Nobel Prize winners this year, I think the lady who pioneered this technique, she got a Nobel Prize. I think there were more people, but I think there was a lady though. Yeah. So there are also people who don't understand at all. They will never eat anything genetically modified. But it's all safe. Yeah. It's all, exactly figured out what is what. And these things are just so difficult to do. You do so many failures before you even get something that starts eating oil. Or maybe it eats oil under these conditions, but not other conditions. Or it eats oil and dies pretty quickly, But now, you have so many computers, and you can cut the piece of DNA and amplify it, and then store it or insert it into bacteria, insert it into a virus, or just have the barcode somewhere. I'm sure there's much more now than there was before. And we have it all computerized. It's all done by computers. You can do it manually, but it will take you forever. While a computer can do the same thing and sequence very quickly. All right, guys, gotta go. That's enough about microbiology. Oh, now I could focus. So have a nice future Thursday, and I hope your weather holds well. I will be scoping tomorrow from Future Friday. So bye for now. Take care, Madgrad, Guinea, everyone else. Anyone get this year COVID boosted? No, they didn't even give here anything. Gregory, take care. Bye for now. Scoping down.